Hi you guys, I'm Dr. Ashley Campbell from Pangea Chiropractic. I want to tell you guys a situation that happened with me, and it's not uncommon. It actually happens a lot in our office, and it's a condition called torticollis. So I woke up yesterday and I went to nurse my youngest daughter, Frankie, and when she was nursing, she nursed well on one side, and when I went to move her to the other side, she wouldn't latch well. She wouldn't get a deep latch. She wouldn't stay on. She kept kind of popping off and on, and I just equated it to her being distracted by her older sister, her wanting to run around. So I left for work and didn't think much about it, and when I got back home, I noticed that her posture had changed. She ran up to me and her head was tilted and turned to the side, and she was running up to me like this, and as I stood there and I looked at her and I just saw her little head tilt, I noticed that when her sister would talk over here, she would turn and look at her, but if she was off over in this direction, she would turn her whole body towards her. You could tell she was stuck in that position. So this is a condition that's called torticollis or wry neck, which is not uncommon, not unusual. I actually see it a lot in my practice, but here's why it happens. It's usually due to an injury. My daughter, not abnormal, we got a bounce house in our house, and I was teaching my oldest daughter how to double bounce my youngest daughter and pop her up and off. And so probably multiple double bounces accumulating, and she had an injury from it. So that night when we went to bed and nursing through the night and all of that aspect of it, these misalignments in the neck caused that torticollis when she woke up. Other injuries that can happen, I get it with brand new babies. So when they go to try to nurse, they'll nurse well on one side, but they won't be able to quite latch or nurse on the other side, or they have a poor latch in general. Those injuries could be one from something called intrauterine constraint. So this is a mom's pelvis. If that pelvis misaligns, it puts constraint within the uterus, so that baby doesn't have all of that room it needs to stretch and to strengthen out. Stretch and lengthen out. And so even when baby is developing, it could develop with misalignments or subluxations in that baby's spine. Another reason that can happen with a newborn is when they're doing C-sections, as they lift that baby up and out against gravity, you can get up to 90 pounds of axial pressure pulling up and away on that spine. Very common for a sprain strain with a C-section babies, or even sometimes it's a traumatic birth as the baby's coming down really fast through the birth canal. We can have some of those same subluxation issues. So here's what happens. The bone in the very top of the spine and a bone down in the lower part of the neck, so the very top of the neck and the very bottom of the neck, a lot of times they'll misalign and they'll misalign together. So why this happens, that misalignment up here right at that C1, it's holding the brainstem. It's everything that keeps you alive that you don't have to think about. It's your heart rate. It's your breathing and expanding and contracting of arteries. It's your immune function. It's your digestion. It's your metabolism. All of that is coming from that upper part of the neck. The other part that comes up is the lower part of the neck, right around C6, C7, which will come in and it supplies not only your thyroid for metabolism as well, but it also has immune function for your thymus. It also comes down, supplies down into the arms. It's the musculature for the SCM, which is your sternocleidomastoid. This muscle, what happens is when the misalignment is up at C1 and down at C6, what it does is it takes this muscle and the body says, I am unstable. I need a little help stabilizing this out. And this muscle will go and it will contract. And when this muscle contracts, it pulls the head into it and then it rotates that chin in. So when this muscle contracts, it causes stability within the spine because it holds them in this position. Now the hard part is when we're looking for treatments for wry neck or for torticollis, our most common treatments are physical therapy, which is helpful. What it will do is will lengthen out that the part of the neck that's contracted, and then they'll try to strengthen this side to bring the head back up into the center. Really severe cases of wry neck, they'll actually cut this muscle, and so this muscle won't be involved anymore when it comes to bringing their head back up into center. It won't be contracted anymore. The hard part for me is if we don't bring chiropractic into this at the right time, we're still missing the bigger picture. See, muscles are compliant. They're not stupid, they're not ill-informed, they're compliant. They're doing what the nerve is telling them to do. So when we have misalignments up here in the top part of the neck and the bottom part of the neck, the nerve says, whoa, I feel unstable, I don't feel strong, I don't feel like I can stabilize the most important part in this body, which is at that brainstem. And what we should do is we should make this muscle contract in order to stabilize this person and keep them in this position so that we don't have further injury. So with chiropractic, when you start adjusting, especially a kid, when you start adjusting, a lot of times you'll bring stability back into that system, and the nerve says, hey, I'm not under that distress or that stress that I was before. Everything seems to be working properly. Let's go ahead and let's relax that muscle. This muscle can start contracting again, and it'll bring that head back to center. So for a kid, when it comes to adjusting, when you adjust an adult, you can use anywhere of upwards of 25 pounds of pressure, which is a lot of pressure. You don't have to use that much, but you can. But when it comes to babies, when it comes to kids, you're looking at 2, 3, 4 grams worth of pressure that you're utilizing to help those bones sit back where they're supposed to be, letting that nerve go out to every cell, tissue, and organ in the body, having that kid come back to life to their fullest potential. Equally, you're telling that muscle to calm down on one side and contract on the other side. All of these things are happening without us interfering. The body gets to take over, and it gets to do what it's supposed to do, which is heal, grow, and repair. I hope this information was enlightening and empowering and really giving you a resource towards natural health. I love you all. Bye.